As always, we work it. And today's episode is brought to you by Total Wireless, the official wireless provider of UFC. They're in your corner with unlimited 5G data that won't slow you down. Daniel Cormier! Guys, I'm here with Aaron Pico as he gets ready to make his UFC debut. Aaron, what's up, man? How you doing? Aaron was just talking to me about a time where I celebrated, like, tremendously when he lost as a 7-year-old. Yeah, you're how old were you? Like 9, 10?
Yeah, I think I was 10. I remember you were jumping up and down, DC.
Hell yeah. Well, he had beat my kid 10 times prior, so we got a dub.
Yeah, and I was like, I do not like that guy because I was so pissed I lost. But it just goes to show you've been in this wrestling game for a long time. You were coaching youth wrestling for as long as I can remember.
Well, that was in Oklahoma like 2002 and 3.
Yeah.
Right? So you were a real young kid wrestling. But now you made it. It's been a long time coming, man. Like from the wrestling to the fighting, there was always this idea that you would be here. When you think about this journey to get here, I know it's been longer than you anticipated. But like, how good does it feel to finally be on the verge of making your UFC debut?
It feels really good, to be honest with you, but I'm really happy on how my career has gone so far. I mean, I really had to dig deep and really ask myself, is this something that I want to do? I didn't have an easy path to get here. There were a lot of moments where I questioned a few things, but it was never in my mind to quit. And I can honestly say I'm 28 years old now, and I'm physically and mentally ready for the big stage. And I'm glad I went, did the groundwork in the other organization to prep me for the biggest organization in the world. So, but yeah, I'm really happy to be here. You just said it, you made it, but in my mind, I really haven't done anything. The ultimate goal is to be a world champion and defend it as many times as I can.
So when you started fighting, you started coming out to San Jose and training, and you always were so game to fight, but at times that gameness cost you, especially early in your career, right? What did you have to change, right? Because, it's one thing to question when things are going wrong, but also recognize I've got to change something and make it different, but still I want to keep what makes me Aaron Pico, that aggressive style. You at like 17, 18 years old was throwing body punches in the gym, and nobody was doing that, right? But ultimately at times that left you in danger of being countered. Like, what did you have to change while staying true to who you are?
Well, the talent was always there.
Yes.
And the drive was there as well, but there's one thing that you can't buy, and that's experience. I mean, it's one thing to go and look good in the gym, but it's another thing to be in the octagon and do what you do. So the biggest change I needed to make was recognizing when to strike and when to wrestle and blending it all together. So when I met my coaches in Albuquerque, they really had they had a tough job to do. I mean, I had the boxing, I had the wrestling, but let's blend it all together. And I think I've done that really, really well in my career. And to answer your question, the biggest thing was just experience.
Yeah. You said you had those moments where you're like, man, do I really want to do this? Like, how hard was that? Because like we talked about at the very beginning, I celebrated because you won so much. Yeah. And then when you got to high school, you won so much. And when you wrestled in high school at the end of your career, you were in the Olympic trials finals. And you were beating guys that won multiple national championships. You had never dealt with losing. How hard was that for you, a kid that had won his whole life, to deal with, now this thing's not going like I anticipated, and also everybody expected from Aaron Pico. From the moment you walked in this thing, I said he's going to be a world champion. So everybody spoke about your greatness even before you had that. How hard was that to feel like, God, man, for the first time in my life, I'm losing? And then secondly, how do I deal with falling short of what expectation is? Because that's earned, and you had earned it.
Well, I think the biggest thing is what I've learned, that MMA is not wrestling. MMA is not, we come from wrestling where it's pure. You just enter a wrestling tournament and the best man win, and I was used to that. MMA is a whole different ballgame, as you know.
Yeah.
The media, the fans, and that's something that I had to get used to. And I'll just be upfront. I had a lot of my mom is. I'm very close to my mom.
Yeah.
And I talk to her almost every day. And it's funny. As a kid, she would always send me motivational quotes and keep going on time. You know, just like the cheesy motivational quotes that when you're young you take for granted. But really, when I was in my darkest times, especially with MMA, not knowing can I do this, and you know, I'd have a lot of conversations with her, and you know, send me motivational quotes, and they started to really, really mean something. And I'll tell you what my mom said when I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. She said, "Aaron, grab your fucking balls and figure it out."
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the type of mom you want, though.
Yeah, she said that there's no quit or.
Well, you made this choice. This is what you decided to do.
Yeah, and a big story that I've told before, but not many people know this, is my mom's an RN. She loves her job. She works with cancer patients and oncology. And she went to school. She went back to college really late, in her late 30s, and school was never easy for her. So she failed her first time in nursing school, and I remember sitting with her on the kitchen table. She was devastated, crying and crying and crying, and she said, "Aaron, I'm going to make it to become a nurse, and I'll do whatever I possibly can." And she did, but I just remember that. I think of stuff like that when having those conversations with her, and I have a lot of work to do, but my mom has been a big help for me.
Well, now that work starts, right? Because you did get it right. You did correct it. And you went and did what you did towards the end of your Bellator run. And you fought so beautifully there. But it was tough to get out of that contract with the PFL, right? You're sitting there. You're fighting. You know what you want, but it's hard to get. Yeah. Was that a harder process than even the process of losing fights? Because now you know you have the skills and you belong here, but something else is holding you up.
Yeah, contract it was really tough for me because I'm like, I want to fight. I haven't fought in a year, but I really had a good leg to stand on given the fact that they canceled 4 title fights on me. Yeah. And the contract had expired. They just wanted to have that.
But what about when you're like in this deal and publicly like the other side saying stuff and you're kind of like just stuck? You can't say nothing. Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I controlled what I can control, and that was get better, be a father, ride my horses, and then when the time is right and when I'm here, I'll make the best of it.
When you start doing that horse thing,
yeah.
When you started doing that, who you, Antonio Banderas? I mean, are you fucking Antonio Banderas? You got that slick hair now, you got the mustache, and you're riding horses? When you start doing that? I said, look at it, he's beautiful on that horse, just like galloping.
Yeah, for sure. I want to make it look good, especially when I'm riding a horse. That's my time to look good, for sure. But I started riding horses at a young age, and my parents never let me have a horse because I was so involved in wrestling, as you know. Yeah. So I would take horse lessons on the weekends and volunteer there. I'd go to horse camp every summer. I'd be the only boy, but I absolutely loved it.
Jesus.
And then when I always told my parents when I start making my own money, the first thing I'm going to buy is a horse. So after my first fight, I went and bought a horse, and now I have 4.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, nice. We got to start winning some world championships because they're expensive. Horses aren't cheap.
They are very expensive.
They eat and poop money, basically.
You were making money over there, too, though, so let's not pretend. But Lerone Murphy, undefeated, one of the highest-rated guys in the UFC. Aaron, not many guys have come over and had success recently. Marcus Buchecha just came over, got beat. I had no idea he got beat. Marcus Buchecha got beat by a dude that beat him so bad that they cut him. The fight was that bad. The winner got cut. Patchy Mix didn't fight to his ability when he got here. Patricio Pitbull didn't fight to his ability when he got here. Michael Chandler's 2-5 or 2-6 right now. What are you going to do different, right? Because at this point, the expectation is that the guys come over, and it's not the same. Ask Coach. Coach will tell you, when we came here from Strikeforce, guys won, right? So it was like the Strikeforce guys win. The Bellator guys haven't. Like, what are you going to do to make sure that you're not on that side, especially with a guy like Lerone Murphy as the opponent?
Well, I don't want to sound cocky or anything like that. You know, they're all great fighters, but I'm Aaron Pico.
Yeah.
It's different in my mind, and that is a concern. I'd be stupid to say, like, yeah, guys have lost, but Coach Gibson used you as an example. He used Strikeforce days. These guys came over and they won, and it can be done, and it's possible, and you have the skills to do it. So I trust my coaches. I know how I work, and what I know, I can compete with the best guys in the world. But I'm not one of those guys that comes over and says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this and do that." No, I know that this is the best fighting organization in the world, and I'm not naive. I'm not stupid. Like, I'm just going to come in here. I know what I'm going to do, but I have to go out there and prove it. You know, I still keep my mind sharp. I've taken losses before. I know what it feels like to lose, and with that being said, I've trained my ass off. I've dotted I dot my I's and cross my T's. And all I can do is go out on Saturday night and do my job. And if I do that, I feel I'll get my hand raised.
So Lerone Murphy's a guy that he just wins, right? It's not always the most fan-friendly, even though it's striking, but he just knows how to create situations where he always comes out in front. He's fast, he's big, he's explosive, and he's just a flat-out winner. How do you approach that challenge whenever you found out it was... Look, most don't want to fight Evloev because of the wrestling. That's not an issue, right? So I'm preparing for another wrestler. That gets me excited. It's easier for the wrestler, especially one of our caliber. But when you get a guy like Lauron, who doesn't seem to have that ability, but he's just a much better striker, and a guy that seems very, very good overall, like, what did you guys make? And I know Coach Gibson's a great coach, right? I've had to fight him on multiple occasions, compete against him, and I respect him tremendously. But what's the original thought when you get Lerone Murphy now instead of Evloev? And you guys get some tough-ass fights when you first get here. You ain't getting no, like, easier fights when you show up.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think you're a wrestler, so you know. But when you watched my wrestling match against Jordan Oliver, Jordan Oliver is the best at footwork, and he fakes, he jukes, he's fast, knows how to win.
Yep.
And what I did was I put pressure. I just have
to smother his ass.
You have to smother him.
Look, the boy's a double champ. I'm your favorite podcaster, and now I'm an official role partner. Fellas, whether you're in or you're out of that bedroom with your partner, significant other, you got to satisfy those needs. It's as important as it comes, guys. And one thing about Ro, when you're in that bedroom, Ro Sparks got you back with his long-lasting functionality. 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who just want a little more control of those erections. You know them old thing get away from you every now and again if you're not careful. And it don't take long either, because after they dissolve, they work in about 15 minutes on average. Hey, I love that. You gonna love that. So, if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off of your first order of Rose Sparks on a recurring plan. So, if prescribed, new sexual health patients, you get $15 off of your first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. So connect with a provider at ro.co/DCTV to find out if prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/DCTV for $15 off of your first order. Hey, y'all don't have to thank me yet, but you will thank me later when you get on those Rose Sparks. Let's go.
Of course, fighting's a little bit different, and I'm aware of that. I can't just go in there and just go guns blazing. But I have to smother him. I have to basically make his life stressful in that octagon. I can't, let me show you my footwork and let's dance. No, we got to make the fight ugly. When we take him down, we got to bust him up with elbows. So when he does get up, his gas is going a little bit. The fakes, the jukes, the running is a little bit less, and it's just one of those fights where you're like, I gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
There's no time to let's see how good I am and my striking and let's go tit for tat. No, you got to make this fight ugly.
Yeah. So,
and that excites me because when I do fight like that, that means I'm throwing my punches, I'm throwing my combinations, I'm cutting off the cage, I'm hitting him hard to the body. When I take him down, I'm looking to shatter his orbital, cut him up with elbows, hitting him to the body and just making it ugly.
Yeah.
So I'm getting fired up, but
you're a little sick son of a bitch.
Yeah,
you a little seasick, huh? You see him, his eyes start, I want to hurt him.
That's the way.
I want to hurt him. It's fighting, though.
It's fighting.
That's what people are like, well, it's fighting. You got to hurt him.
Yeah, one time somebody said, like, oh, in a fight, if you had to take somebody's knee out, would you do it? I said, yeah, of course, without a question. If you're not willing to do that, then you're not fighting. You shouldn't be a fighter. If you're not looking to bust orbitals and lacerate livers with punches, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because we're all respectful, and I'm very respectful, but when I'm inside that cage, I'm fighting for my son, my horses, for a better life, and
for everything.
For everything.
Yeah.
All those decisions I made as a young kid of leaving school, not going to certain things, not partying, it all led to me to become a UFC champion. I say this all the time, and I've said in an interview that I remember I went on a field trip when I was like 7 years old. Mm-hmm. And I had my lettuce, I had my chicken, and I had my water. And they had pizza, they had cupcakes, and the teacher saw I was the only one with lunch. I said, listen, I can't eat that stuff because I have Tulsa Nationals in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
She said, you're really not going to eat the pizza and the cupcakes? I said, no, I'm not going to eat that because I have to make weight.
How did you develop that at such a young age? Your dad was hard on you, too, though. I think there's some benefits to that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to clear that. No, my dad wasn't.
He wasn't?
No, my dad was harder on my older brother, for sure. Yeah, my older brother's 4 years older than me. But for me, I enjoyed it because I viewed it.
So you're telling me maybe he was tough, but it didn't seem tough to you, or was he just not?
Well, it was just never it was just never a question. Do I ask to go to a friend's house and go to the swimming pool, or do I go to the boxing club? And my reasoning was I want to go to the boxing club because I enjoy that. I'm going to go to wrestling practice. I have 3 pounds to lose, and as a kid, that's 3 pounds. It's tough.
It's a lot, yeah.
And I viewed it as a game. Like when I go and weigh in, I'm going to be thirsty, but that Pedialyte or whatever I was drinking at the time is going to taste so good. So I viewed it as, not many people, I think basically are kind of screwed up like me.
Yeah, That's a little different mindset.
And I'm being completely honest with you. It's not like, oh, I've dreamt about this, and I've literally done everything and made decisions when I was a young kid to get to this moment here.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to make sacrifices, and I've got to enjoy a lot of things in the world and meet people that not many people get to meet and experience things that the normal person hasn't, and when it's all said and done, I'm glad I didn't eat that cupcake or eat that pizza on the field trip.
Yeah.
To sum it up.
So when you step into the octagon on Saturday night, as we start to wrap this up, one, do you believe that there is a jitter to the octagon? Do you believe that Patchy froze up because of the moment? Do you believe that Patricio froze up because of the moment? And if you do, how do you ensure that that doesn't happen? How do you ensure that when you walk in there in front of 20,000, that you perform at the rate and at the level that you've performed at the entirety of your career?
Well, I think it's a mindset. And my mindset is based on one thing, and that's to maul this guy. I maul him and get my hand raised, and that's all I'm really focused on. I think it's a mindset. And my mindset is just focused on winning, listening to my coaches, and it comes with the territory. Now I'm fighting in arenas with 20,000 people and millions of people watching around the world, and this is what I signed up to do.
Yeah, that's what you signed up to do. Guys, Aaron Pico fights this weekend in the co-main event of UFC 319 against Lerone Murphy. Go follow Aaron Pico and everything that he's doing. Make sure you tune in. He's fantastic. I said something the other day. I said, I thought that if you didn't quit wrestling at this point, you'd be Olympic champion. I thought that you, because of your mentality and your work ethic, would not allow for anything less than to be the best in the world. I'm excited about Aaron being here finally. So make sure you go find him on social and everything else he's doing. Congratulations, kid. Well, we got to shake with the left because I'm holding with the mic with the right. There we go. Congratulations. I called him a kid because that's what I've known him to be. He's a grown man now that makes his UFC debut. Until next time, like, subscribe, tell your friends to tell their friends that DC's got a YouTube channel, and I'm checking in with guys like Aaron Pico, who fights this weekend. Until next time, peace.